Why are Pokemon cards so freaking expensive? There's so many new collectors entering the hobby. The bots and the scalpers are driving the price up. Rip and ship streamers are a cancer to the hobby. Yes, demand will drive up price. That is economics 101. I'll spare you a graphic of a supply and demand curve, mainly because I don't want to do the animation. Yes, I'm looking for an editor. Please apply within, must tolerate caffeine rants, and know what an SAR is. But what's going on behind the scenes of these reselling businesses that's driving the price of Japanese Pokemon cards through the roof? Well, in this video, I'm going to go over all of it as we follow the journey of this guy, and in a later video, we'll talk about this guy. But seriously, why are booster boxes that are MSRPing for $40 in Japan ending up costing you sometimes over $120? Why are English booster boxes MSRPing for $160, but being sold for over $280? Looking at you, journey together. Destined rivals, anyone? Let me be very clear, I am 1000% against scalping. I have stayed very clear of selling English until I can land a distributor because, well, one, I don't have the time that these scalpers have to camp outside Target for a restock. I have a job and dignity, okay? Two, I don't feel like getting physical over cardboard. I like Pokemon, but I also like not getting banned from Costco. And three, it's very expensive. That's what the whole video is about. We'll get to that later. So because of these reasons, I solely focus on Japanese cards for now. Before starting Top Chasers, I often didn't understand why I was paying $120 for a box of Terastal Festival, and some stores are charging more than that. But now that I own an online store of my own, I'm providing full transparency into how I price my cards, and I'd guess how every card store out there is pricing their cards too. So let's follow the journey of this box of Terastal Festival. Japan's Pokemon Center sells Terastal Festival for $36 a box at MSRP. Let that sink in for a second. That's like 2 DoorDash orders or 1 if you're a degenerate like me. Sounds great, right? Well, unless I planned a multi-$1,000 trip to Japan, I, as a US citizen, do not have access to Japanese MSRP priced products. Unless you do some pretty shady stuff, which, I don't know about you, I would like my business to stay above ground. Also, if you're planning to go in person, a lot of Japanese card shops have a 1 box per customer limit, so you're probably going to do a lot of walking. It's basically Pokemon tourism with a side of cardio. So again, how does a box of Terastal Festival start at $36 MSRP in Japan and end up at your doorstep after you've paid $120 and probably have some buyer's regret? Well, Pokemon Center Japan differs a little bit from Pokemon Center US in the fact that they do operate like a retailer. They sell directly to collectors online and in stores, but distribution beyond that is tightly controlled. All card shops in Japan have to buy like collectors. Camping stores, online drops, or even sometimes from other resellers. And I'm pretty sure that most of them are probably using bots to scalp all the available products when the online product drops. Yes, even in Japan, they are fighting the bots. It's a world sport at this point. So our box of Terastal Festival, which was sold at MSRP from Pokemon Center Japan, goes to a card shop. Let's say the card shop, however, wants to make a 25% margin. So they would sell that box at roughly $43. But many card shops do not have the ability to sell product to US buyers, which is where Japanese resellers who do focus on selling Japanese-based products to US buyers come into play. These resellers can be considered secondary or tertiary distributors of Pokemon Center Japan. And this is where things can get a little muddy. Some of the resellers are buying product off each other, and each person needs to make their margin, which further drives up the price of that box of Terastal Festival, which ultimately you and I pay. The price that I pay is ultimately decided by what I like to call the OPEC of Japanese Pokemon. If you don't think that all these resellers are in a giant private WhatsApp chat, colluding on a price to sell these Terastal Festival boxes to US buyers like myself, then you don't know a lot about Asian culture. There's a WhatsApp group for literally everything. As a US buyer, I am purchasing these boxes of Terastal Festival at about $89 a box. But hold your horses, we're still not done. Most of these Japanese suppliers only take 2 forms of payment, Wise or PayPal goods and services, which there is a fee for both of them. Furthermore, international shipping is expensive. Also, tariffs. Whoever tells you the US is built for small businesses has no idea what they're talking about. By the end of the transaction, I'm paying almost $97 per box of Terrestrial Festival. Now, by the time that this box of Terrestrial Festival gets to my warehouse, which is really just my office. No, seriously, I keep all my stock on that bookcase right there. Please don't rob me. The most valuable thing in there is my sanity, which is fading fast. But I have to price these boxes at a price that makes sense for me, where I'm still making some money because, you know, otherwise I'd be out of business. And I don't want that. But there are fees that I need to pay attention to depending on which platform this box would sell on. There are income taxes that I need to pay to my state. And if I was a larger store, I'd have to worry about Nexus law, which the TLDR there is that it's a cluster, don't worry. The shorter version, every state wants their piece to the Poke Puzzle. I'm coining that. If I sell on eBay, they take about 14%, and that's before they send their monthly "you did great" message while they're robbing me blind. If I sell on TikTok Shop, they're going to want anywhere between 3 to 8% of net sales. And if I sell in my Shopify store, they want 2.9% plus 30 cents per transaction of net sales. Not to mention discounts, flash sales on TikTok, shipping costs, as well as packaging costs like bubble wrap, the boxes themselves, packaging tape, the list goes on and on. So to sum this up, the price of our box of Terrestrial Festival has gone from $36 at MSRP in Japan to probably about $43 to a Japanese card shop and up to $87 per box from my suppliers, to now $120 per box where I make very tiny margins. On eBay, I pretty much break even. On TikTok, I'm at about $13 of profit per box. And on Shopify, I'm at about $18 per box. So what I'm trying to say is if you're going to buy from me, buy from the website, please. Or at least DM me and tell me you like my bookshelf. And in the US, this becomes a giant game of who can sell the most boxes the quickest, which can come off as very annoying. And is also probably why the US market hates resellers so much right now. Fortunately, there are some great reasons to get into Japanese Pokemon though. Better hit rates, better quality of the cards themselves. If you're integrating, expect more 10s back. Still cheaper than their English counterpart sets. And let's be honest, the Japanese print quality makes English feel like it was printed with a potato. But I've appreciated the support of Top Chasers, both my online store and my Rip and Ships. It's been so much fun building this community and building my brand. And I've met some really cool people along the way. If you want to hang out, I'm trying to do Rip and Ships at least a few nights per week. I'm also starting a Discord server, so keep an eye out for that. And if you've made it this far, follow me on IG or TikTok and send me a DM with the word Poke Puzzle. And that will let me know, my fantastic listener, that you've watched this video to the end. I'll send you a discount code for the website. So I'm Nate from Top Chasers. I rip, I ship, I cry over shipping costs. May your pulls be fire, may your boxes be loaded, and your centering be always a PSA 10. If you like this, follow for more chaos. Come hang out with me on the Rip and Ships. And remember, the best way to support me is through the website. Your boy's gotta afford tape somehow. Until next time.